Bonjour! My name is Abomination, and welcome kinda back to the YCL Wi-Fi. Except not really. The season's obviously over. This is just a quick short video to show where Whitney is, in all of my videos. If you didn't know, I hid her. She's hidden in every single one of my videos. So, let's start. Okay, so the first one, Team Builder. Most of you probably wouldn't even guess that she's in the Team Builder, but she totally is. And there's not too many places to hide this, but when I'm talking about Miltank here, because, you know, why wouldn't I? If you look, she is just sitting behind the N in Miltank, but only for a short period of time. Right, just for a little bit, right? So, yeah, not too hard to see, but it kind of is because she's not really on screen for that long. I guess I should also say, most of these are, like, very hard, by the way. Some of these are pretty easy, but most of these are pretty hard, okay? Some of them are actually impossible by accident. Like, not impossible, but, like, almost impossible. But not week one. So week one here against Emerald Miner. If you look, just as when it's Mew versus Starmie, as Starmie is switching out, if you look at the reflection on the bottom of the screen as it's switching out, you can see her black and white, technically, black and white sprite animation in the reflection. So yeah. Oh, in the first one, it's just her Heart Gold, Soul Silver overworld model, which most of them are going to be. But yeah, that's the first one in week one. In week two, this is probably the most difficult one to spot. It's like impossible. As my opponent CJ is sending out Feraligatr, right as I'm using Eruption, and as soon as the fire starts, if you look very, very, very carefully at the back wall, you can see her gold and silver sprite. Like, you really gotta look, though. There's no chance to notice it in the middle of the video. You basically have to know where it is in order to find that one. That one was by accident. She was supposed to be clearer than that. That was an accident, so I apologize for that one, but it's fine. Anyway, week 3, actually, this is post-battle where she's actually hidden, and if you remember my week 3 match, you had to finish it on Showdown, and yeah, so I decided this is a perfect opportunity to be unique in this week. As soon as I click on Endgame here, like Miltank, obviously I hope you know that by now. If you look at the top right corner of the Showdown screen, of the white anyway, you can actually see like her full Pokemon Masters model is hidden there. It's very transparent, but it is there. If you tilt your screen maybe, you can see it easier. If you're on phone, then maybe that won't be. If you're on phone, then adjust your brightness maybe, and you can see it better, but not that I would expect you guys to do that in the middle of the battle, so most of these you probably wouldn't even notice, unless you're seriously on the hunt. But anyway, I just thought it was fun. So yeah, that one's there. She's there the entire time I'm talking about Endgame. She doesn't go away ever until I click on Remore next. Right? Still, that one's not too bad. Pretty hard, actually, because she's pretty transparent. But anyway, week 4. This one, she's not on screen for very long at all. But this one here, just for a hint, usually, now it's not always the case, but usually I like to put her when Miltank is on the screen. That's not always the case, though, like week 2, for example, you know, with the Typhlosion using Eruption. But most of the time, that is the case. But in this one, it's right when I kind of revealed that the game was kind of mine in week 4. I'm pretty sure my opponent was New A here. Right as soon as I use Sunny Day, when the screen goes wide and really like shows the entire battlefield, if you look at the TV or whatever you call it on the left, top left, again you can see her black and white sprite in that TV. Unfortunately, in BDSP the battlefield's kind of empty. There's nothing in it, so it's hard to hide her, honestly, but it's a lot easier anyway in Sword of Shield. It's not hard, but it's a lot easier in Sword of Shield because there's so many things on the battlefield, obviously. Anyway, that's what she is week 4. It's not hard to see, but it's not on screen for very long, so it kind of is a little bit hard. But and then week 5 here, week 5, the match I lost. So good job on Pocket Rotom to execute me. Right, but anyway, the location here, when I do the edit with Biff, looking at his TV and watching my game, which is, I want to say, is pretty funny. If you look when he shrugs, whatever you call it, on the edge of his bath or his hot tub or whatever, you can see her standing there looking left. The Heart Gold and Soul Silver Overworld model is there. Right when he shrugs. She's not on screen for very long, again, but she's not hard to see. You can see her as long as you knew she was there. She's pretty easy to see. So that one's pretty interesting. I hit it in one of my edits. I thought it was pretty cool. This one here is probably the easiest one. Now, there was no week 6 or 7, so this is automatically just week 8. Well, there was week 6 and 7, but I got forfeit wins. This one's very easy to see. Right as soon as I open the Pokemon menu, right here. Like, very easy. Right in the red, her Pokemon Masters model. Very easy to see. That's probably the easiest one. Like, you can't miss it, really. But you could miss it, because she actually stays on screen for quite a long time. Week 9 is debatably the hardest one here. You kind of have to really, really be looking here, but I think this is the most clever hiding spot I put her in. Week 2 is just kind of really hard to see. This one is just too clever, I think, which is not to toot my own horn, but it's pretty good. If you watch Play Rough very, very carefully, you can see her there. And if you slowly watch it, you can see her Master's model. It's completely white, granted, but it is bouncing around in that Play Rough as well. And it is very hard to see, but you can see it. If you watch it in slow motion, it's very easy to see, but you really got to be looking. I think that's my favorite hiding spot in this entire thing. And then we got week 1 of the playoffs versus the Red Spark Vikavolt, right? Right after we send out our leads, only for a few seconds. She's not transparent at all, but in between the battle and the Pokemon buttons, you can see her looking through. You can just see a tiny bit of her face. She's only there for like 2 seconds, but it's very easy to see, as long as you're paying attention during those 2 seconds. This one here, second round of playoffs versus the Bulky Dragons. We got Starmie again. Apparently, I like Starmie. But as soon as it gets, or not as soon as it gets sent out, right after I close combat, if you look inside the Starmie's gem, in the middle, it's Life Force, you can see her Heart Gold and Soul Silver sprite bouncing around in there. Alright, as Starmie moves, she's kind of bouncing around in there. She stays there for like a good while, so it's noticeable. Versus the Delaware Dittos, round 3 of the playoffs, right as soon as I push at the beginning of the match, right as soon as I push the done button, just look on the right hand side. You should very easily notice her gold and silver sprite, as long as you look there, right? And it is waving around a little bit, but it's there all the way until the versus goes across the screen. So it's not on for too long, like most of these. It's only on for a few seconds, but it is very noticeable as long as you. It's very noticeable as long as you look there. And then finally, in the finals match against the Spine Shillinginga. This is actually kind of a weird one. Right after Ramore Earthquakes, right now this is close to the end of the game, the glitch happens. I don't know why the game does, or my capture card rather, does this, but it glitches. But in the sludge, on the top of the screen, like the top middle left, you can see her looking left. Her Heart Gold Soul Silver sprite is inside of that sludge on the top of the screen there. And yeah, and that one's, yeah, and that's it. And that is all the locations for her in the YCL Wi-Fi. Pretty fun. I do enjoy thinking of ways to hide hide things in my videos. I always liked I Spy as a kid, and honestly, I still probably do, even though I don't know where my books are. Anyway, so yeah, I like the element of I Spy. I'm assuming someone else out there also likes I Spy, but my version of it's very impossible to win. I'll be surprised if anyone finds any of these. Or actually, yeah, I would be. But yeah, for future videos, if you do see her in it, please let me know. I had a lot of fun with this team. I thought it was very indestructible after I drafted it, and I was not wrong. It is very strong. I really liked every single one of my guys. I'll just do a quick short summary. Mew was awesome. First time I had Mew in BDSP, it's actually significantly weaker than normal because it doesn't learn nearly as many moves, but it's still a monster. Mew is a monster. Dragonite, Remore, absolute beast here. There's no question. At the last 2 weeks there, when he got 8 kills in the semifinals and in the finals. That's devastating damage. Yeah, and I'll Outrage. Honestly, most of the season I didn't like the sound of Outrage locking myself into a move, but who cares if nothing can survive it, right? Unless you're a fairy or a steel, and even then, steel types are still taking. Some of them are still taking like 50%. Like, seriously, it's devastating damage. Wallop, Azumarill, also devastating here. Here, I'll open up the kills in total. Wallop with 10 kills, 3 deaths, very strong. Remore with 12 and 4. Mew with 6 and 2. Devastating. Magnezone, Sir Kit, 7 and 2. Also devastating, scaring away every steel type ever. Like, I fought maybe 2 or 3 steel types this season. Magnezone stops them before they even come to the game, which opens up the door for Remore and Endgame, and all those, and Venusaur too, actually. All those guys that don't like those steel types. Venusaur, Vice Elric, also went 7 and 2. Also very devastating, very bulky. Actually didn't show up to the playoffs, unfortunately. A lot of the teams really had ways to deal with Venusaur. But I've never really liked Venusaur that much, but I gotta say, she did some great work this season. 7 and 2 speaks for itself. It's very good. Endgame Miltank went 2 and 3, unfortunately. In this league, she's got a negative record, but in the other league I'm in, she's got like +6 or something. She's devastating. In the other one, I brought her to the finals, but she didn't see the field. I could have fixed her record, but I just didn't. I really wanted the win instead. I'm sorry, Endgame, but... So -1 is unfortunate. She's always good for me, though. I wasn't disappointed in her performance this season, regardless of her 2 and 3. Umbreon, Marshall, went 2 and 2, but honestly just stopping both Latios and Latias this season. I think I fought them both twice, like I said, in the finals. Stopping them is very strong, very specially defensive, indestructible. Yeah. Hitmontop, Hidor, showed up, went 2 and 4, showed up 7 times. 2 and 4 is not bad. He's not really meant for damage. I just wanted him there to get rid of Stealth Rocks. There's not that as many defoggers in this game, unfortunately. Rotom, Rotom is the big one that can't get defog, and there's no heavy duty boots either, so hazards are really kind of scary. A lot scarier in this game than they are in Sword and Shield. With that being said, though, Hidora really dealt with them pretty good, right? Rotom Frost, Van Jurassic. Only showed up once, and that was like week 3, but he did go and get 2 kills and survive that fight, so he was very good in that fight. He kind of had a good matchup in the finals match as well. I almost brought him, but I had to bring Endgame instead. I replaced Van Jurassic with Endgame to try to get Endgame some kills, and I thought Endgame was pretty good. But yeah, Van Jurassic. One match it did show up, did good. Typhlosion showed up 3 times, went 4 and 1. His name was KO Wolf, which I thought was pretty clever because like it's KAO, but it's supposed to sound like KO, and then Wolf, because it's kind of wolf-like, but KO Wolf is the name of a volcano as well, I'm pretty sure. So I thought it was a pretty cool, clever name, and a lot of people do YCL as the name. I also used to do that, but then everyone else was doing it, and I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll do something else. So yeah, that's what it's gonna be. He showed up to early matches and did good. He did a lot of damage. 4-0 is good for 3 matches, right? And then finally, Lopunny. Debella showed up to 1 match. Pretty sure she didn't see the field, but yippee, I'm happy to have her on the team, even though she didn't do anything. Yippee. Anyway, that's going to be it for me, the Whitney location, and I guess final team appreciation video. And I hope you enjoyed my YCL season. I'll be back for something else. I'll tell you what I'll be back for. I'm planning on doing Pokemon Masters videos. Hopefully be excited for that. In short summary, I'll be kind of explaining, I'm making my own enemy sync pairs, like opponents that you would fight for like an endless mode I was kind of dreaming up. So, yeah, I'll be working on that, as well as finishing up the SRL. Hopefully starting up a new draft league. I want to do Sword and Shield next. So yeah, expect Sword and Shield draft. Hopefully, if I can join a league. Pokemon Masters videos, what I just said. The rest of the SRL, so the semifinals, and if I win that, the finals, obviously. And then the Whitney locations videos for the SRL. And also the Pokemon Black and White Shadowlock I'm doing with Southside Braves. It's Thursday today. We're going to be recording a lot on Saturday and hopefully more on Sunday, so expect more of that next week. And yeah, and I will see you then, okay? Thank you for listening and watching. I hope you got some excitement out of this video. And please, and yeah, comment as well. I like to see those. Thank you. Later.